Hey guys, today I'm going to show you all how to access the library function in our Canvas shell, how to get into the databases, what kind of filters to use, all that fun stuff. By now you should have viewed my PowerPoint about what databases are, what academic research entails, all that fun stuff to kind of um, accommodate and accompany the Entering the Conversation article you all read last week. Now, for this assignment, you all should be conducting some kind of scholarly research on your own. So I kind of want to show you guys how to find those articles at home at your computer. So here we are in our Canvas shell, Composition 2, E2 for online. This is our home page. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see all of the different tabs to access different parts of our Canvas shell. So in order to get to the library and all the databases, we have to go to the library's Canvas shell. So we're going to scroll down here and click on library. And this is going to be Cisco College Library's home page. It's got all the information you guys need to ask any questions. You can text them, all that fun stuff. Down here we have more contact information, research services, which is one way to access databases, which we'll talk about in a second. The library catalog, if you guys want to check out books, audio books, DVDs, and stuff like that, and a bunch of other stuff. But for now, and just for the sake of this assignment in this class, we're just going to use this little search bar right here. What's really cool about this search bar is it is all-encompassing. It's the Wrangler Researcher, and it's going to basically access all of the materials that Cisco has at its disposal without having to go through individual databases like you would down here. So for this assignment, we are looking at disputing or acknowledging and supporting the events that take place within the King's Speech, which is during pre-World War II England, right? Colin Firth's character is King George VI. That seemed to be the most obvious research choice, and as you guys can see, I've already looked it up. So we'll type in King George VI. This is Roman numerals for 6, a V and an uppercase I. We're going to hit search. Again, this particular research bar is going to access all of the things that Cisco College has in regards to King George VI. So we have all of this information. As you guys can see, our search results, it's going to be 16,751, and that's periodicals, books, all kinds of stuff, right? And we definitely want a more narrow focus for the sake of the papers we write in this class and for academic research. So for one, I'm going to come over here to this left-hand column, and I'm going to come to this limit to part, and I'm going to limit it by full text, meaning it's only going to give me full text articles, not little snippets, not just abstracts. It's going to give me the full thing, so I have access to all that information. It hasn't really narrowed down much, but that's fine. We're going to come down here a little bit more, and I'm going to go ahead and limit it to books. Let's see if they have any books. And I'm going to limit it to academic journals. Those are going to be the two best ones for us to look at. And as you can see, it went from 16,000 to 312, which definitely ups our ante in terms of finding actual relevant sources. So we can see our first article is speech language therapy given to King George VI in the King's Speech movie. We can see right here that we don't really have access to that, and it's something you would have to access through interlibrary loan, which is not something we want to do. Can scroll down and try to find something right here. So listen to the lessons of the King's Speech. Again, here's something about King George VI. Maybe it might be pertinent to whatever scene that we're analyzing. We can click on it. So as you guys saw in the PowerPoint, there's going to be a difference between a PDF full text and an HTML. This is going to be a PDF full text. As you can see, this is a full article that was probably published in a physical magazine or journal, and this has just been photocopied on the internet. You can download it over here and save it to your computer if you wanted to, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Maybe not. Yeah, and so it would let me save it to my computer if I wanted to, and that way you can access it at all times. We're going to go back. Down here, let's scroll back. Down here, we've got something about the funeral of King George VI. And again, we have this PDF. Over here, we've got this HTML full text, which I'm going to go ahead and click on just so you guys can see the difference. So see here, we have just someone typed into a text box all this information, right? That's not really going to help us whenever we might be directly quoting this article in our paper because we won't have any page numbers. But over here, if I just click PDF full text, again, it's going to give me what it would have looked like in the physically printed whatever, and we've got page numbers. So again, better, more stuff to work with. So I'm not going to go in and show you guys all of the different articles that you should look at. That's going to be up to you for this assignment, but just wanted to remind you guys or show you all how to do this. Another thing that we could do is we could limit it by subject. So we can make sure we're only talking about the King of Great Britain. Now we've got 13 only, which is awesome. Again, narrows our search a little bit more. Another figure, if you guys are just like, oh, I'm not finding anything about King George, now I want to research someone else. We can look up maybe Edward, his brother, who abdicated the throne, Edward VIII. Just click on that. Just hit enter, and it'll search for us. It has the same filters that we had before in terms of full text. But again, I'm going to go ahead and do academic journals. And it's going to give us a lot. Before I clicked on that, just for some basic how-to about Edward VIII, we're going to get some encyclopedia definitions of him and some other stuff. So it's up to you how you want to filter that information, but that is going to be the best way for you guys to immediately search for those things. So if you go back to the library homepage, another way to access searching for things, if you want to be a little more specific about the databases you're using, you can come down here to research services. Here's going to have some more refined searches, and this is going to help you guys also if you're wanting to find books over the subject either. Excuse my internet, it's kind of slow today. So we can go over here and click on databases. I gotta get rid of that. And it's going to show us all of the databases that Cisco subscribes to. So remember in the PowerPoint, I talked about this idea of subscriptions. It costs a lot of money to have access to these databases that share this wealth of knowledge to other scholars, to fellow students. So it's really important that we're using them for research especially and taking advantage of all the things that your tuition is paying for. So these are going to be the 6 most popular ones probably. And as you can see here, we've got some usernames and passwords. Whenever you guys go to EBSCO, it's going to ask you for these things. You're going to want to keep this web page in mind so that way you can enter in those passwords so you can have access to it. You can go and click complete list of databases by subject. So again, we're going to have databases that are really specific to certain things. So books and literature, we're going to have access to all of these. Science, technology, you're going to have access to all of these. So very, very specific things. Again, oh, didn't mean to click on that. We're going to go back to library. I want to go back to research services to show you guys a few more other things. We're going to have the library catalog, and this is for you guys to search for things that are physically in Cisco College's library, whether that's in Abilene or Cisco. So you can click on one. I'm going to go ahead and click on Abilene. And you'll be able to search things. You can click on all of this stuff. Remember, they've got audiobooks, they've got DVDs. So if maybe the movie that you're wanting to do for this project, they might have it, you can go ahead and look for it that way and look another way to access databases. I'm going to come over here and show you guys about interlibrary loan. And basically what that means is, I guess we saw that in one of the resources when we were searching for King George VI, is if there is a book or an article that you're wanting that Cisco doesn't have access to or doesn't have at its disposal, you can request an interlibrary loan. And again, this is requesting items that are not available at either of the Cisco libraries. It's free of charge. You just have to fill out a little form and tell them what you're needing it for and all the title information you can possibly find. And then here it'll tell you more about loan periods and limitations and stuff like that. But again, pretty much Cisco can get whatever you want if they don't already have it for you in there at their disposal. So that is just going to be some various ways for you guys to find stuff through the Cisco databases. Another website I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that I will allow you to use for this paper and for our other research project is going to be Google Scholar. So all you're going to need to type into your search bar is scholar.google.com. And what this is Google for scholars, in the sense that it's going to bring up peer review articles. It's going to bring up a lot of stuff that you're going to find in your databases. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of Google Scholar is it doesn't have a lot of PDFs or even HTML full text. It's a lot of hunting around, but if you're willing to do that kind of research, go for it. So again, we can type in someone like Edward the 8th and see what pops up. So you've got a lot. Right here, we've got some PDFs, but not a ton. It does come up with more results, but again, it's not going to search like a database will. It's only going to find me, maybe scholarly sources, but it's only going to find me anything with the words Edward the 8th, and that could be a lot of things, right? So we've got something right here in South Africa, which isn't a thing. We're talking about a hospital. It doesn't really refine the search like we want it to. So that's up to you if you want to use it, but it is an option. But I would suggest sticking with our databases.